Cyborg is going to be making her boxing debut down in Brazil for September 25th against Simone de Silva at middleweight. Now, in boxing, middleweight is at what, 160 pounds? So she'll be fighting at 160 pounds. So she's not even going to be cutting much weight for this fight. Anyway, let me read the MMAfighting.com article on this here, just to start bringing in some clarity, and then I'll bring in some more context. It says Cris Cyborg will face Simone Silva in professional boxing debut next month. It says Cris Cyborg will finally get the chance to realize a lifelong dream when she competes in professional boxing for the first time in September. The reigning Bellator featherweight champion announced the news on the MMA Hour on Wednesday. Cyborg will face off with Simone Silva in the main event of a FMS Fight Music Show card on September 25th, with the promotion's middleweight championship going up for grabs. Now, before I go on, just to clarify, in the U.S., promotions can't even have their own title. Like, it has to be one of the big four: the WBC, WBA, IBF, or WBO. Like, those are the four recognized sanctioning bodies in boxing. So this is like a piddly little nothing title. Anyway, back to the article. It says the bout will take place at the Atletico Paranaense Arena in Curitiba, Brazil, which is also the site of Cyborg's UFC debut in 2016. It says Silva boasts a 17-21 career record with 6 victories coming by way of knockout, but she's currently riding an 8-fight losing streak dating back to 2019. As for Cyborg, the 37-year-old combat sports veteran has long desired the opportunity to cross over to boxing while still pursuing championships in mixed martial arts. She's worked with boxers like Claressa Shields in the past and was recently linked to a potential matchup against Irish boxing champion Katie Taylor. Says first things first, before any possible matchup against Katie Taylor can take place, Cyborg will get her feet wet with the bout scheduled against Silva in September. Just to add some clarity, if you're not familiar with women's boxing, Katie Taylor is the biggest name in women's boxing. She's Olympic champion, fights coming out of Ireland, just headlined probably the biggest women's boxing fight in history against Amanda Serrano back at Madison Square Garden a few months back, and beat Serrano. She is also the undisputed lightweight women's boxing champion, which means she holds all 4 of the major world championships. And lightweight is at 135 pounds, or bantamweight in UFC terms, or MMA terms, I should say. Anyway, it says, while this will be her pro boxing debut, Cyborg has competed in striking sports like Muay Thai in the past, where she's battled notable names such as Jarena Bars. Most recently, Cyborg defended her Bellator title with a unanimous decision over Arlene Blencowe that extended her current win streak to 6 in a row after suffering a loss to Amanda Nunes in the UFC. It says now Cyborg will strap on the gloves for her first boxing match, with the possibility for more fights in the future as well. The card in Brazil will also feature several more high-profile matchups, including former boxing champion Ashley Popo, blah, 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 blah. No one cares. Okay, so a lot of Cyborg fans are excited for this. And Cyborg even stopped in at before, like a couple hours before the stream started, to say hi in the chat. Like I said, a lot of Cyborg fans are excited. They're saying this is awesome. This is a new low for Cyborg. Okay, this is a new low for Cris Cyborg. So all you Cyborg fans, that's your trigger warning right now to turn off the program if you can't stand to hear this. This is a new low for Cyborg. Okay, I get it. It's her boxing debut. She's never fought in boxing before. But she is fighting someone with an absolute upside down record at 17-21, and eight fight losing streak dating back to 2019. But Simone De Silva, if you look her up on Tapology, she also has an MMA record. Her MMA record is 8-7. Or no, I'm sorry, 8-4. So not only does she have a losing record in boxing, she has a losing record in MMA as well. And combined with the MMA and boxing, because she does both, her current losing streak is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 fight losing streak combined, MMA and boxing. Holy crap. And keep in mind, this is nothing against Simone De Silva. I've got nothing against Simone De Silva. This is about Cyborg. And this is just sad. Oh, apparently, Simone has a boxing fight coming up scheduled this weekend, according to Tapology, taking on Jessica Kamara. If she fights Jessica Kamara this weekend, she is getting whooped. That is going to be another loss. Jessica Kamara is pretty darn good. Oh, also, to further add to just how low Cyborg is going with this, just how low Cyborg is going for this, while most of the some of Silva's more recent boxing fights have been up higher, middleweight, 160, 154. You look at most of her boxing fights, they're around between 130 to 140 pounds. But you go back further, and they're at like 126, 125, 122. And the further you go, most of her MMA bouts before she went to boxing full time, most of her MMA bouts are at flyweight, 125 pounds. And she's going to be fighting Cyborg at 160. So par for the course for Cyborg. Let's be honest here. Par for the course. Cris Cyborg fighting basically a flyweight, a fattened up flyweight at 160 pounds. Cyborg normally fights in MMA at 145. She's going up for 160 and fighting someone whose spot is low at flyweight. Not the first time she's done that. So this is just par for the course for Cyborg, is bringing someone up from a lower weight class. But usually Cyborg doesn't fight people on massive losing streaks. So that's why I say this is a new low for Cris Cyborg. I mean, this is just sad. I get it. It's her boxing debut. But keep in mind, her Muay Thai fights, when she went and fought Muay Thai, she fought much better competition in Muay Thai than she did than she is fighting the likes of Cyborg. I mean, she fought Jarena Bars, one of the best Muay Thai fights on the planet. And her third Muay Thai fight? Year before that, she fought Jennifer Colum, who I believe was undefeated at the time before she fought Cyborg. So that was a good win. That was a good fight before that. That was in 2013, and then 2014 was the bars fight. So why is she going back to Brazil to fight an absolute journeyman boxer? I mean, she's fighting better competition in MMA, and I realized, okay, she's never boxed professionally before. I get it. I get it, Cyborg fanboys, Cyborg Nation. She's never boxed before, but still, this is sad. This is sad. This is a new low for Cris Cyborg. All this is to get a fight under her belt and then try to go for that Katie Taylor money. Which, by the way, she'd be pulling Katie Taylor up in weight too, because Katie Taylor fights at lightweight in boxing, which is 135 pounds. So she's going to try to pull Katie Taylor up in weight to fight her as well. The new low for Cris Cyborg, ladies and gentlemen.